everybody, I'm back, and to start a more grungy one, which I don't think is going to be particularly Timmy, but is going to be hopefully a little bit more grungy. I've looked at some of my distress paints, vintage photo, ground espresso, walnut stain and frayed burlap, which has recently become a revelation to me. I used to use tea dye for a light brown, but it's kind of a light orange, whereas frayed burlap is definitely brown. I love it. So all I'm going to... Oh, and the other thing I've done is I've taken a piece of mixed media paper and just cut it roughly up so I could fit it on my messy mat. So I'm just going to put some little drops down. I've got a lot on the lid of that one. Let's get that off. This is the ground espresso. I don't want too much of that. I want quite a light background. But I think we'll achieve that with the... I might leave the walnut stain out and just go for more of the frayed burlap. And I'm going to add quite a bit of water because I do want a light background. Let's add quite a bit of the frayed burlap. Okay, now let's add some water. As you can see, I'm adding quite a lot. I'm bursting those little bubbles of paint up. Like so. Okay, so there's a lot of just water on there, so let's see how this goes. Sometimes it goes horribly wrong, so we'll see. So I'm just going to pop that down in there, lift it up and see what we got. Right, okay, that's a lot darker than I want it to be. I don't want these, I don't want them to look like blobs. So I'm going to take my hands to it. No reason why not. A bit too much vintage photo there for my liking, but it is what it is. That should be my motto, it is what it is. I seem to live by that. It is what it is. It's going all wonky now, all... I'm not sure this is what I wanted at all. And now I can't fathom out where to dry it without putting it down on there. Oh well, let's do that and let's see what we get on the other side. You never know, I might get something nicer. So let's just take my roll. I've been cleaning my brushes off on it, so I'll get rid of the first bit. Now I'm just going to go over that and pick up some of the excess paint and excess liquid. So yeah, that's making it lighter, definitely. Don't need a hair in it, I'm pretty sure. I can't lift that up, come on. Ah, tweezers, anybody? See if I can get rid of that. Yeah, that's it. It's gone. I've still got these. Yeah, okay. I've still got the bumps from where I put the original paint down. Not sure I'm mad about that, but let's dry it anyway. So I'll dry that off and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that's a good lot drier than it was. It's not bone dry because underneath is wet now, because we put that down on there. Ooh, that's potentially very nice. So I've still got this. I don't quite want all of that vintage photo there. And I don't want these to look like blobs of colour either. But yeah, let's put our side back down on there. See what happens. I'm just going to get rid of all the water on this side, which is the reverse. Okay, let's see what happened with that one. Oh yeah, that's becoming more interesting. Let's stick that piece down in there. Yeah, these are the marks that I really, really love. The little marks. Oh, that's looking nice. Let's just dab some of that off. Sometimes get a very nice pattern from the towel itself. And put that top corner, which is a bit naked looking. Into there. I'm quite happy with that. I quite like that. Yeah, I'm alright with that. So I'm going to clean my board up. My mat, should I say. Still a lot of paint on there. And ordinarily, if I wasn't videoing it, I'd use that. But not today. So it dries lighter than you actually see, which is fine. That other side's nice as well, isn't it? But that side is great. It's exactly what I wanted, something nice and light. So I'll dry that off and I'll come back to you. So that's it. I'm happy with both of those really. This one is much darker than that. That's fine. It's a good bit of contrast. And I'm going to leave them now because I'm going off for my lunch. So they can dry till the heart's content. Well, half an hour anyway. And I'll see you back then. Well, here we are, back again. I can tell you lunch was delicious. It was, I'm sure you're not that interested, but it was meatballs with pasta in arrabbiata sauce. Just gorgeous it was. So thanks, Mr. F, for that. And we now have two, one dark, one light, beautiful pieces. Right, so let's start to build up our page. For the background, I want it to be light, I think. Yeah. So let's put my messy mat away because I think I've finished with it now. Could probably let's have a tidy up. And just like that, I twitched my nose and it all went away. Right, this I want to make into the size of the journal that I'm going to put it in. So I want mine to be 8.25 by... the other side turned out nice as well, didn't it? Is that the wrong side? That's the right side. I don't know. Doesn't matter anyway. I want it 5 3/4. So let's cut that at 5 3/4. Sometimes when it's been wet, you have to really make sure it's straight. There we are, 5 3/4 by just a slight smidge under 8.25. There, no, not straight. Let's do it that way. I've got a straighter edge on the bottom here. Not that you can see because I'm off the blinking camera. There we are. So let's just cut that up there. So that's what I want for my page. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is work around the edge to get a nice edge and make that look even more interesting. Oh my goodness, I love both of these. They're gorgeous. That one's really nice. Oh, I could get it out of there. I like that one. Yeah, I'm going to make my page out of that. I just prefer it. Turn me around twice and I'm lost. So 8 1/4, just a touch less than. Lovely, and 5 3/4. There we go. So yes, this is now our page. Isn't it nice to have so much choice? So I'm going to just get my little inking board out. It's got a bit of a lump in it, but it'll be fine for what we need. And I'm going to get out my vintage photo oxide, my ground espresso, no, I'll use gathered twigs, vintage photo, gathered twigs and scorched timber. Now I've got frayed burlap, that's singing to me. I'm going to use the frayed burlap first, then I'm going to have a think about what colour I want to do next. Very indecisive today. Very, very indecisive. I haven't seen you today yet. Hi. It is me. I am here. You know, in all my glory. I did have a tidy up after I finished the ideas journal, which was a bit necessary because there was stuff everywhere. But, you know, we're all right. Let's crack on. Right, so I've got some brushes here. Let's just check. Let's take off it if there's any darker on it. So this is the frayed burlap. And I'm coming in here and I'm going quite a way in. Half an inch-ish, I'd say, in from the edge. I'm using these lovely blending brushes, but you use whatever tool you're familiar with. And you'll see when we get an edge on this, it really, I don't know, brings the inside into sharper focus. Maybe you could say that. Starting to look nice already, just with frayed burlap. It's not a very nice day here today. It's, you wouldn't say it was raining, but you wouldn't say it was dry. It's what Mr. F would describe as a mizzy day. Don't worry about bits that you've got that you think are there's a bit too much ink on. It'll all come clean in the wash. Right, so that's that. That's the frayed burlap. See what I mean about it being such a gorgeous brown colour? It's fabulous, I love it. So next, shall I use... Ooh, what shall I use? I'm going to use Gathered Twigs. It's a really nice brown colour as well. And another one actually that I didn't really know about until recently. I've had it in my drawer for ages and just not used it. So I'm coming in over the edge. I'm not going as far as I did with the frayed burlap. Just more to the edge. A little way onto the paper, but not as much as the frayed burlap. So just take your time, enjoy the process. Don't know, did I do along there? I can't remember. There we are. You see, it's just edging that just makes the inner piece more interesting. So now I'm going to move on to the scorched timber, bring in the heavyweights, and I've got a brush here for that. It's interesting to see on the brush, you can see it's brown and black, and honestly you would be forgiven for thinking there was a hint of green in that. So this I just want to do on the edge, and if you just rub over the edge like that, the brush just catches the edge. You could use your ink dauber, of course. That's another way. But I do like this sort of looser style when it's something grungy that we're going to make. And I think this just finishes it off perfectly. But you'll see in a minute we haven't actually completely finished with it. Remember I said to you that the acrylic paints, once you put them on, they won't move. And that's the best thing about them. Well, I mean, they're all nice colours and everything else. But you could use inks. You could substitute inks for paints. The only thing is that if you go back into inks with water, they'll all move and merge into one. Whereas the paint, that will stay. So that's that. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm sure what you expected me to do, get my foam brush out, get some water, and I'm going splashing. Where is my water? Okay, where's my water? Here it is, right in front of my eyes. So I'm just splashing. I want to just splash the edges really. And you'll see almost instantly it starts to push that oxide to one side. I don't know why it's not. My brush isn't picking up loads of water. It's being really awkward. Let's try the little one, see if it wants to work. Yeah, maybe a little better. Maybe I just haven't got enough water down. Seeing as we're having an ATC swap in the group at the moment, that's the Miss Paint-A-Lot's Junk Journal group, for anybody who happens to be watching this and isn't a member of the group. I really do not know why I can't pick water up. That's better. Don't know what was going on before. Yeah, I think this would make a fabulous background for an ATC. What do you think? I want quite a bit there because it's quite dark. So that's it. I've got water around most of that. I see any bits where I can't see the water, just go back in and splash it. But yeah, just you can see it's starting to push the ink away. So give that a second or two just to think about things. But you can't, I'm sure you can see down here where it's starting to work. So leave it till you can see it working. Then take a piece of kitchen towel or similar. I'm just going to dab that off now. We'll see what we've got. I mean, look, there's plenty of water on it. I just couldn't see it. There we are, and it gives that really mottled edge, which is gorgeous. I love it. I really do love it, actually. So pop that away. It needs cleaning, but not at the moment. So the next thing I want to do is something you've seen me do loads of times, so I'm not going to do it all with you, but I'm going to get out the stamps from the stamp set where our aviator is, and I'm going to use all of these stamps, every single one, possibly not the bucket list and tourist moment, but everything else, and I'm going to make myself a stamp collage. Now, to save you having to watch me do that, because it does take a long time, I've already done one. So this page is slightly different to this one, slightly different colour, but fundamentally it's the same. It's the same colours anyway, it's just perhaps a little darker, I don't know. But I've used all of the stamps to create this, and I love the way some of them have come out. This one's a bit, you know, a lot of them are not pristine stamps. I mean, they've got bits. I love it. I deliberately tried to ink them up so as that would happen. These ones down here, for example, they look worn. They don't look just like stamps stuck on top. So I used all of them for that. And that's going to be the background of our page. Next thing I want to do is take the other part of the page, decide, not that side, that's too light I think, and I'm going to stamp our aviator out onto there. And you watch me do that for the first one, so you don't need to watch me do it again. I'm literally going to take my paper and stamp her out onto it. So I'll see you when I've done that. Right, so here we are. I've stamped her out, our gorgeous aviator. And as you know from the first part of this video, there is a die that cuts her out perfectly. Now on this occasion, I don't want to use the die because I want to make this pocket a gusseted pocket. So I'm going to take my scoreboard and see if I can find, this tool, and I just want to make a 1/2 inch gusset there. So score that in. Yeah, and I want to make a gusset up here, but I'm not quite sure how tall I want this sort of pocket to be. About there, I would say about there. So let's score in the 1/2 inch up to there. That's great. Now, can you see where my lines are? Yeah, there. So I want to go from there. This is going to be the folded over gussety part. So I then want to go and cut her out right down to this, where this gusset folds over. So that's going to be a bit tricky. Well, it's not really, it's just a little bit of fussy cutting. If I had my scissors, it would be an enormous help. Oh, here we are. So I'm just going to kind of cut straight. I'm just going to cut that at a bit of an angle going up to the start of the gusset. And I think I might need to go down and then up, but for the time being I'm just going to go along. And then leave a little edge around her. A little margin, I should say, is what it is. And she's not a difficult shape really, fortunately. So I'm just taking my time and going round the outside. Sorry, I am not a fast fussy cutter. I'm just not. And if I speed up, I'll be really sorry. Because if I wreck it, I've wrecked the background and the stamp. So I don't want to go there. So I'm just taking my time. Yankees. Okay, so I'm kind of at the bottom of her hair now. So I want to just come around like that, down to the top of her shoulder, which we can see here, and then down, straight down to where that line is for the gusset, and I'm just going to put a little. So that's what we've got left. I quite like that. I do think I need to remove some of this, which is what I thought I would have to do anyway, so that's not a big deal. Just come down and back up. Like that. And you won't see that. In fact, do I need that? Could I just cut that off there? Yeah, I think I could actually. Let's just cut that off. Let's make that a little angle for the gusset. And then just across there. Not sure how straight that is. Okay, so that's what we've got. Let's fold our pockets now and thingies, what you call them, gussets. See what they look like. Let's move this so we get... Oh yeah, she looks great, doesn't she? She looks fab. I love her. She's better than I thought she'd be. So, need to ink around all of this. That's still not straight, that top bit. There's par for the course with me, of course, because I just can't cut straight. That's better. That's definitely better. There we go. So she needs inking around there, and she's going to sit here, just in a little bit from the edge, like that. She's going to look splendid, and we're going to put a card or a little journaling piece in there. So let's get the ink board back up and ink around the edges. So I want, what was the first one I used? Frayed burlap, of course, which is here. Need to just clean my brush. I'm going to do it on a towel because it does clean it a bit better. I'm just going to go pretty much around her, lightly. I don't want much ink around her. And then a bit more heavily down here. Oh, it's satisfying doing things like this. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that's it with a frayed burlap. So then what did I use? I used gathered twigs. I think I did. I'm going to leave her though. I'm just going to use colour the sort of back bit a little bit. Not coming over as far as the frayed burlap. Just a little bit along the edge. There we are. She's coming to life. And the scorched timber. She has a brush all of its own because it's so dark. So I want her to stand out from the background and from the tag when we put it in. So this is why I'm using a scorched timber, just to make a proper demarcation line, if you like. A little bit just around her. Yeah, there we go. Oh, doesn't she look splendid? I love her with all the colouring behind her face. She's just beautiful. So where's our, here it is. So this can now get stuck onto there. And she's not popping off the page because she's going to have something in behind her. But you can see all those lovely stamps. They really are just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just going to glue her into place. Lovely. I'm going to pop her down there. I think that's pretty straight there. I'm actually just going to put the bottom one in first and then grab a piece of washi and just put it across the bottom so we can get our tag in and out without it sticking on anything. Like that. Give that a good rub down. And then put the side one in. Like that. So there she is on there. Our aviator. And doesn't she look great? She does. She looks great. Just want to persuade her to bend that way. Right, so now we've got to deal with the tag, and it's really not going to be difficult or complicated. It's just going to be made out of this, and I just want to make sure I get the right size, so I'm offering that up into the gusseted pocket, and I'd like it to be pencil. I'd like it to come to about here and about here. So let's trim that out. There we go. Keep that. Nearly threw that out. Yeah, so let's see what that looks like in behind her. Yeah, looks great. Looks lovely. Once again, we need to do the edges of that. Not with the frayed burlap, I don't think. although it is an oxide, so it might be worth doing it. Yeah, let's just give it a once around again. So I'll carry on doing that and come back to you. Alright, so there we are. I've gone round it, inked it, and I've backed it onto some cream card, and it looks just fine in there. It looks nice. It does need something along here, and I have an idea for that. Because we've done a lot of this dark red stamping in the background, I think I need some red stamping on there, but obviously not straight onto it, or you wouldn't really see it. So going back to this the lighter version, I'm going to use that. It's the bit that we cut her out of. Which bit do I want? That bit's probably quite nice. So I'm back to the stamp set again. And I want the date and destination, both of those stamps. So let's just put them down so the... Do I want date and destination, or destination and date? Destination and date, maybe. I'm just going to push those up together, cuddle them up, make sure they're straight, pick those up, and I want to do them in the red. The red that I'm using is a Stays On red, and it's called Black Cherry, which is just perfect for this sort of thing. So let's get the little stamp mat out. And this way then, if it doesn't come out first time, you've got a chance, haven't you? Because you can just redo it. Whereas if you're doing it onto the actual tag, ooh, this way lies danger. You could also do it in your stamp platform, which is the least dangerous of all options. But I'm living dangerously. Let's see. I mean, none of the, well, some of the stamps on the background came out perfectly, but there's a lot that came out imperfectly, which was exactly what I wanted. But we'll see how this one comes out. Let's give it a minute for the ink to transfer. That's what they say. Don't know who they are, but that's what they say. Put the lid back on my Stays On. Give it a good press down. Oh, look at that. That's just so great. I love it. It's perfect. So I just want to trim that out, I think. I don't know whether I want them separate. Let's trim them out like that first and see. Trim them out straight first if I can, and we'll see where we are after that. So I'm just using the finger guard on a guillotine as a guide from where to place them. Yeah, I like that. I like that just as it is. It's grand. Grand! Okay. Getting so giddy I don't know where things go anymore. So let's just... Yeah, I mean, doesn't that look excellent on there? It's all it needs, I think. Could put a tab on it if we wanted. That goes in there, that's going to go there. Just like that, perfect. That makes a huge difference. And I'm just going to go around the edge with a bit of scorched timber. Just darken that edge up a little bit so it stands out. So this really, honestly, could be a page in your junk journal. It's got a pocket, it's got a tag. What more do we want? Yeah, I love that. I think that's great. Just debating with myself if I need any more, anything on her, but I don't think I do actually. I like that. It's great. So that's kind of where I want it to go there. Just put a little pencil mark there and get some glue on it. So I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope you consider giving it a go. I know it's a bit of a long journey just to get one page and one tag, but we still have got lots of papers left to use, and you probably will see me using those in a bit more that way, in ATCs and things. I think that's about it. Let's just check with a ruler that we've got it square, because that would be most annoying, and it doesn't look square in all fairness. Oh, although, hang on, it is square. Wow, excellent. Press that down. Lovely. That Stays on Black Cherry is a fabulous colour. There we go. And that's it. That's our page. That is our page. So let me just get tidied up and I'll come back with both pages side by side. You can see what you like and what you don't. So there we are. It is completed. You may notice that I have coloured in the rims of her flying goggles and her bottom lip there. And it's just a mix of colour because I didn't have a colour exactly to match. But I mixed it and I think it goes rather well with the Stays on Black Cherry. So there we have it. There is our grungy version of the stamp set, which is CS340 Travels from the Past, and it comes with the die to cut the aviator out. So it's CS340 Travel from the Past. It's a fabulous stamp set, and you're not tied down to anything with it. You know, this one is, let me take that one out of the way. This one is crisp, really. It's black and white. She's black and white. No colour on it at all. And we have got a bit of interest because of the green that I added to go with the key lime nights, which I will be using throughout my Sidekick journal. So that's her, really nice, crisp and clean. And then we've got this one, which absolutely isn't. She isn't crisp and clean at all, but she will go in my journal, and you know, we've got a great bit of journaling there to use. So yeah, I really like the addition of her goggles being coloured and her lip. I think that's just, yeah, it's just great. So that's it, guys. You've stuck with me to the end. I've no idea how many days this video is, and I can tell you it's taken me 2 days to make it, and it's dark again outside now. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you got something out of that, whatever it is. And you know, you can go one way or the other, or whatever you like. It's just an incredible set of stamps that are very, very versatile. So thanks, guys. Take care now. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.